ভরা ঢেউ বোঝো না তোকে কেন মায়ার তোরে বাও 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 রে।
If I wear, al khalla and say, I have a beard and Fakirs and all, that doesn't mean I am a Baul. Baul is not any kind of song. Baul is a culture, like our USDP. Whatever I want to do that, I will do. Do whatever you want, but don't cheat anybody.
ভরসা করি হে ভব কান্দারে আলতি ছাড়িয়া তারে দাও 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 রে।
The inner demons will always be there, so we cannot really oppress the demons. It's not possible. You have to become friends with your demons.
বাইতে জানো না কেন ধরো হাল মন মাঝিটা তোমার হলো যে মাতাল।
Baul follow the heart, not mind. If your heart say go somewhere, so you can go. You have to stay here, you have to go to work. It's not that.
ছিল তোরে আইতে ছিল তোরে পাগলা বাবা ভাঙা তোরি জলে ডোবা ডোবা। নদী ভরা ঢেউ
Namaskar, bro. I have not met you in real life, and I'm not local, I'm from Russia, but for some reason Facebook suggested me to add you. Maybe because we have some mutual friends. I met all of them in Kolkata 1 year ago. So I just checked out your profile and really liked it. Maybe we could hang out sometime. Most probably next month I'll arrive Kolkata to stay there for a while. If you take a serious interest in the culture of the Indian state of West Bengal, you cannot but get drawn into the topic of Bauls, wandering mystic singers. If we imagine this culture as a tree, then the Bauls will be in its roots. After all, as these singers say, the very first Baul was the Lord Shiva himself.
Brother, I know you virtually. Have you watched your documentary on graffiti in Kolkata? And was just thanking God for connecting us right now, divinely.
But so it happened that I began my study of Bengali culture from the freshest, top, young leaves of this tree, with those leaves growing on a branch not quite native, but grafted by the West. I've spent some time with Kolkata graffiti writers and trash metal heads and shot 2 handicraft documentaries about them. And it was from those people that I first heard about the Bauls, and I realized that for the sake of the Bauls I would come back to West Bengal again.
We are bringing together artists, musicians, photographers for a camping festival. I would love to take the pleasure to invite you to be a part of videography or documentary team.
Sounds great. When will it happen?
January 2nd week.
I really wanted to make a documentary about the Bauls, but I did not know how to approach the topic. Unlike Kolkata artists and musicians, the Bauls usually didn't speak any English, you could not message them on Facebook, moreover, most often they seemed to be on the move. But reading about their culture, I learned that every year in January, near the town of Shantiniketan, a big Baul festival had been held for several centuries, and I decided to just go there and improvise. In parallel, without any connection to the topic, surfing Facebook, I came across the profile of a Jyoti from Kolkata. Social network algorithms suggest adding those whom you have common friends with. I liked Jyoti, and shortly before leaving for India, I wrote him. He said that he was participating in the festival. I in turn shared my plan about the Bauls.
This is the Baul festival, 40 kilometers from Shantiniketan.
You mean it's the same event?
Like I said, divine connection.
And as soon as I decided to shoot documentary about the Bauls, the universe seemed to start helping me. And the first miracle was meeting Jyoti, his girlfriend Payal, and their friends. All of them, by a happy coincidence, were to organize their own stage at the Joydev Kenduli Mela festival. The Joydev Kenduli Mela festival has been held in the same place for almost 800 years in a row. Joydev Kenduli village, Birbhum district, West Bengal state, India. The dates are a few days in mid-January, when Hindus celebrate Makar Sankranti, a festival in honor of Surya, the solar deity. The same famous festival where I hope to finally see and hear those most mysterious bowls. Jyoti and his friends, city guys from Kolkata, had only recently discovered this culture for themselves. They all visited the festival together as guests a year ago, and this year they decided to try themselves as organizers. By the efforts of those guys from Kolkata, a multi-room tent had already been built there, and the stage construction was in process.
This place is a private place. This belongs to a person. So we took it like it's not really on rent. It's like we had a talk and, an exchange. And that is like 5 people own this land, 5 brothers. So 1,000 rupees each for each brother. And also in our tradition there is this one spirit guardian for one area. So this whole village area, the spirit guardian's temple is this one. So the spirit guardian of Joydev Kenduli village somehow called us over or pulled us, or we got connected.
Work was in full swing in the camp, and the village of Joydev Kenduli had quieted down until morning. The next day, thousands of guests would arrive. Before we continue the story of the festival, let us return from the village to Kolkata for a while. Shortly before the trip, another miracle had happened there. When I came to Bengal, I rented an apartment in the south of Kolkata for a month and a half. There was a bookcase in the apartment, and in the bookcase, among others, was the Red Book. Here in my hands, of course, not the same one. Later, I bought a copy for myself from second-hand booksellers. Baul's Sphere turned out to be a kind of autobiography by Mimlu Sen, a writer and translator whose life was closely connected with the Baul culture. As I began reading her fascinating story, I had no idea that a couple of weeks later I would find myself having lunch in her garden, just few kilometers away from my Kolkata home. I was a guest of hers and Paban Das Baul, Mimlu's life partner and one of the most famous Baul singers. The meeting happened in a place called Boral. 30 years ago it was a separate village, today it is the southern outskirts of Kolkata, where the urban landscape flows seamlessly into the rural landscape. Mimlu Sen's parents owned a piece of land here. I was lucky enough to catch the couple in India. It turns out that for many years now they have been living on 2 houses, winter in Kolkata, summer in Paris. While the helpers are preparing lunch in the garden, we go for a walk around the neighborhood.
কিরে বাবু সোনা, তুই ভালো আছিস তো? এই তো তুই বুড়ো হয়ে গেলি, তোর সাদা চুল হলো। ইস, বাবু সোনা বুড়ো হয়ে গেল, তাহলে তো আমরা মরতে চলেছি একদম।
An Indian girl from a well-to-do Bengali family, Mimlu Sen was born in Shillong in 49. She grew up in Kolkata, and for the first 3 decades of her life she had little or nothing to do with the Bauls. The girl had a free and independent spirit. For the first time she tried to run away from home at the age of 12. As a student she participated in street protests of Marxists in Kolkata. In the ranks of young volunteers from England and the United States she helped the starving villagers in the state of Bihar, and by the late 60s, while in London as As a part of a group of Indian students making a bus tour of Europe, 20-year-old Mimlu Sen ran away from her group and with just £5 in her pocket rushed to Paris.
It was a Paris of sex and drugs and rock and roll. Paris also of feminism, psychoanalysis and existentialism. I would stay up all night, going from cafe to cafe, meeting the architects of revolt, philosophers, painters and filmmakers.
In 70, Mimlu was back in Kolkata. She studied at university, worked as a newspaper reporter, was still involved in protest activism and even went to jail for a year for storing Naxalites' guns in her father's house. Naxalites were a group of Indian communist radicals, organizers of peasant uprisings, guerrillas, and one of the main threats to Indian internal security from the 1960s to the beginning of our century. By the beginning of the 80s, Mimlu was in her early 30s. She lived in Paris with a French man and woman. They had a family, 3 children, 2 born by Mimlu, 1 by a French woman named Katoum. Mimlu took care of the kids, worked part-time as a translator. She did not cross paths with fellow Indians. She didn't go to Indian music evenings. It was more like the Rolling Stones, Bob Dylan and Bob Marley. But one day she made an exception for a concert of Bauls, traveling singers from Bengal who were touring in Europe. Gork Hepa and Paban Das Baul tore up the audience. Nowadays they are considered the first-rate singers in the Baul world, but then they were very young. 2 months after the concert at the Alliance Française, Mimlu bought tickets to India for herself and her 2 children and left France. The world of Bauls beckoned, and it seemed that Mimlu and Paban struck up a romance. 2 weeks after arriving to Kolkata, in mid-January, Mimlu, Paban and the children were heading to the festival at the village of Joydev Kenduli, 200 kilometers from Kolkata. Mimlu felt that the Joydev Kenduli Mela would change her life. I had read about all this in a book a couple of days before my own departure for Joydev Kenduli. I put the book aside and sat down at the computer. I easily found 70-year-old Mimlu Sen on Facebook. Without much hope of a reply, I wrote her, "Are you going to the Mela this year? Can I talk with you there?" And unexpected answer came. Mimlu and Paban are inviting me to the lunch at the Sen family garden in South Kolkata. The meeting took place after the festival.
So big event must be organized, permitted by governments, everything, that bureaucratic stuff. Who are the organizers maybe of this festival nowadays?
Well, I mean, that's always a mystery because, such a big festival, who organizes it? But I think that basically, the fundamental akras or the fundamental ashrams are still there. It's just the traditional organization. The confusion also comes because, everything has grown 100-fold. There's a larger population. I would almost say that it's like a spontaneous organization of different groups of people. The government has its tourism department. They have tents and beds. Then a lot of the local people have understood that there are lots of visitors. So they've opened up little rooms to rent. As such, there's no real, Kenduli Baul festival organization committee. That doesn't exist.
Systematizing reality, cataloging it and shelving it is not very common in India. At least not among traveling mystic singers. History, songs, legends are often not documented on paper and are passed on by word of mouth. Thus, their form remains forever mobile, fluid, flexible. So on that first festival morning I knew only the following. The village around was called Joydev Kenduli, in honor of Joydev, the poet who lived in the 12th century. The festival was also dedicated to him and had been held since the day of his death, which was almost 800 years ago. This river is called a joy, and ritual purifications will be performed in its waters throughout the festival.
Jai Mahadev.
Because Jayadeva himself used to bathe in it, though here we are getting into the realm of legends.
So basically there was this poet Joydev and his wife or partner or soulmate Padmavati, and they used to be different, like eccentric. different from the society, from the common crowd. They are so intoxicated in the love for the divine that they are lost within that, and that's what they are within. At all moments they are with that feeling. Now the society or the common people cannot accept it for some reasons. That is why they always chose to remain off the society, within the forests, near the river, and have the most natural environment. So Joydev was writing a poem about the love story between them. Like, I haven't really gone through the whole poem because love story, he couldn't finish it. The last chapter was left out for him to write because what he wanted to write wasn't really fitting into the understanding that he has. So one day he went to take a dip in this river, and his wife suddenly found out that he came back, and he was like, oh, I remembered what to write and I'm writing it. And he came and he wrote and went away. 20-30 minutes later, Joydev enters again to his house, and his wife is like, hey, you just came back and now you are, what is happening? He's like, what is happening? I went to take a dip, I came back. She's like, no, you came and wrote it. And then he went and read it to find out what his feelings were, are expressed in words. So basically, the divine took a form of Joydev to ensure that his love and his truthfulness towards his feelings and understanding doesn't go into waste and vain. And that way Geeta Govindam was written. And that is a legend that people are following until today.
The word Mela can be translated from Bengali and Hindi as both a festival and a fair. In general, the ancient Indian open air looks like a huge, unbearably noisy fair, and it became such almost as soon as microphones appeared, says Mimlu Sen.
Yes, right from the beginning, right from when I went, it was, I call it the age of the microphone wars, because it was like one akra had a mic. And just next to it, there was another akra with a mic. And they were having competitions between the mics. So everybody would hike the volume to the highest pitch of decibel. And I always think that the Bauls have their built-in mics in their voices. They have very strong, muscular voices, you know. They don't need mics. Using the mic in voices which are so loud made it unbearable to listen to. And I think this has affected the Baul culture very strongly, because this whole culture of getting up, singing one song on the mic, and then being pushed aside for another Baul to come and sing another song, it's like putting the Bauls into the assembly line. Whereas the Baul songs were arguments, philosophical arguments. So Paban sings a song, I don't agree with him, so I sing another song to counter his song. And then somebody else says, oh, but you guys don't see, I have another way to propose. So that was very interesting, you know. But that has completely been mulled over, and there's another kind of conversation happening with which the older Bauls are lost.
Fortunately, there is a place to hide from cacophony.
মিলন হবে কত দিনে আমার মনের মানুষের সনে আমার মনের মানুষের সানে।
This is the final footage of a feature film about a great Baul poet named Lalan Shah. The film is called Moner Manush. The same name is given to the song playing in the footage, and perhaps it is the most famous and popular of Baul songs.
মনের মানুষের সানে। মিলন হবে কতদিনে, মিলন হবে কতদিনে, আমার মনের মানুষের সানে। মিলন হবে কতদিনে, মিলন হবে কতদিনে, আমার মনের মানুষের সানে।
Manush in Bengali means man. Mon means mind. Moner Manush can be translated as man of the mind, man of my soul, my chosen one, and this is one of the key images in the lyrics of the Bauls, who believe that God should be sought within themselves. And in general, Moner Manush is about the search. Also, Moner Manush is the name of one of the ashrams in the Joydev Kenduli Mela. By the way, the Bauls call their ashrams akras. So the akra of Moner Manush is an abode of peace and the frenzy of the fair, and one of the most interesting places here. The akra was created 20 years ago. A village in a village, a festival in a festival, where electricity and microphones are not used as a matter of principle.
The Baul akras like Moner Manush, they've tried to go outside those main areas and try to find little hiding places and some kind of shelter from the sound. And some of the sadhus have understood that, they want to go back to the acoustic, the more intimate way of connecting.
I wandered around with my camera, listening to the musicians and trying to communicate with them. I managed to get a couple of comments through volunteer interpreters, but the singers were a bit terse. The point they said is not in the talking but in the songs. My unexpected good fortune was him, this agile man of ripe age, in all orange and yes, a real Baul, who spoke to me in English.
Whenever you can go everywhere and you take, and after you need to, what is the meanings of Baul? Or inner knowledge, you have to need if you want to make. But Baul is not folk. Baul is another subject that rules. If you don't know what is the meanings of Baul, you can go to the spiritual Baul teacher.
And what is your name? May you introduce please yourself?
I know name. I know name because everybody tell me Din Dayal.
How may I?
Din Dayal.
Din Dayal.
Din Dayal. But my country, Din Dayal name is God name. It's God name. Because I tell it is a God name. My name, I mean nothing. It's a God name. I take to my head and I go.
Спустя пару месяцев после
A
окончания
couple months after the festival, I actually got a spiritual teacher, a guru, and he was the same Dindayal Das Baul. For the sake of sharing another miracle on my journey into the world of Bauls, you and I will soon be leaving Joydev Kenduli again, for a while, but we will for sure come back a little later. After our conversation at the festival, Dindayal left me his phone number. He invited me to visit his house in the Bengali town of Kalyani, in Nadia district. I wrote down the number, but without much hope of meeting him again. I was leaving Bengal a few days after Kenduli Mela. I planned to return to the state next spring, but only passing through, briefly, through Kolkata on my way to Bangladesh. Some shooting was planned there. I found myself in Kolkata in March, just before leaving for Dhaka, the capital of Bangladesh, when I suddenly learned that India would be closing its borders to entry in a couple of days due to an emerging pandemic. So once I went to Bangladesh, I would not go back, and I'd probably be stuck there for a long time. That was not an option for me. The Bangladesh shooting had to be cancelled, and I had to come up with an alternative plan for the next 2 weeks. That's when I remembered Dindayal's invitation. I called him. The wandering singer was at home and confirmed that I could come. For centuries, the Bauls wandered through Bengal and the whole of India, singing philosophical songs, allegories for train passengers, for prisoners, for peasants, for nobles, for the motley crowd of guests at village fairs.
Все для баулов были равны, что знать, что низшие касты.
The nobles and the lower castes all were equal to them. The most principled, like the poet Joydev, did not stay under one tree for more than 3 nights.
Дольше, чем на 3 ночи. И, несмотря на это, некая...
And yet a certain Baul geography existed, with its own important historical locations, such as Joydev's village of Kenduli in the west of the state, or Rabindranath Tagore's Shantiniketan, or Kushtia in Bangladesh. The Goshpara locality, 60 kilometers north of Kolkata, where Deen Dayal lived, was home to one of Bengal's many annual village fairs, between which the Bauls roamed during the festival season, which was winter and early spring. Today, Goshpara is the outskirts of the small town of Kalyani, founded in the mid-20th century on the site of a former American military airbase. Technically a part of the city, Goshpara is more like a village. Dayal Sarkar, that was the passport name of the singer Deen Dayal, along with his wife, son, daughter-in-law and granddaughter, lived in this yellow and white house. I'm not sure if Baul did recognize me, but he immediately invited me to have dinner in the common room. After that, we sat down to drink tea in his bedroom.
Take biscuit. You can practice. Today start. Practice. Bengali practice. To me, you to me. Take now. Biscuit. Biscuit. And to me, biscuit now.
To me, biscuit now.
To me, biscuit now. Take. To me, cha, khao. Cha, khao.
Cow is drink.
Yes. You can little practice Bengali. You coming easy. You have to need like that make a documentary and writing, but you have to need make ascetic. This is sadhana. This is sadhana also. You have to take a mantra beginning. If I give you mantra, after I tell you what is the meanings of mantra, every day you can practice some this religious way. What it is meditation something, it's a yoga something, and change little. If you do that, change your mind and emotion, and you get energy. One day make you ascetic, and you make documentary, writing everything 4 hours, 4 years. After you make a respectable body and life. Everybody when see you, yes, Namaste, Hare Krishna, Hari Bol. Sadhana ocean. Sadhana's ocean inside have to go deep to deep. You have to, your wife, you tell him, I have to meet for 4 years. I have to travel with my guru, and I have to learn Bengali. I'm not all time this place. I don't live. I travel. You have to travel with me.
I did not come to Deen Dayal for spiritual guidance, to be honest, simply as a journalist, but as you have already understood from Deen Dayal's words, I would be able to make my movie only if I took the spiritual path. Not that I accepted this idea wholeheartedly and immediately, but I just decided not to resist and to see what would happen, to let things go as they come, to trust Deen Dayal, whoever he was. After tea, he took me and my fellow apprentice to a small temple at the other end of the Goshpara fairgrounds. There the Baul's buddies and neighbors gathered every evening. From peasants, drivers, traders, they became skillful instrumentalists and passionate singers.
Always my own one family. Now I going everywhere. Even coming I see. Yes, yes. Okay. I was your own man. You can do everybody. I am happy. They respect me also. So much respect. And all time tell, you come. You can, direction was our all people and how to become is developed this temple. You can give me suggestion. I tell okay. Sometime I can coming and give suggestion. You can do. I am happy.
Позже, ночью, когда мы вернемся к Диндаялу домой и уляжем.
Later at night, when we got back to Dindayal's house and settled down to sleep, him on the bed, me on the mattress on the floor, he woke me up suddenly, told me to turn on the light and listen to him. He told me he loved me and respected me, and that he was my Baba, which meant my father, and I was his son, Chele. So generally he let me know that my studies had begun. And I'll tell you how it went. We'll see Dindayal soon. Right now I invite you to come back to the Joydev Kenduli Mela festival for a while. I apologize to you, viewer, if I have confused you by moving through time and space. Yet here we are again at the festival at Joydev Kenduli. For many Mela guests, the festival morning begins here by the Ajay River. The river is multifunctional. On the one hand, it is considered sacred and it is a tradition to take a dip in it during the Mela days. On the other hand, it is also, or rather its banks, are used as a toilet during the festival. That's why I personally bathed in it only on the first day of Mela, when there were still few people in the village. Starting from the second day, the muddy shore became like a minefield. After going to the river, the festival guest returns to his camp. The campsites here are large and crowded. They take huge pans and cookers with them to cook food for everyone. Indians always have a full breakfast, lunch and dinner, as at home, without any excuses on the camping life. What else do they do? I cannot answer for the whole festival. I can say with certainty only for Moner Manush and the camp of Jyoti and his friends. They smoke, sing and dance. Dance, sing and smoke. Smoke, dance, sing. From dawn to dusk, from dusk to dawn.
Распространять, продавать, хранить марихуану – индийский закон.
Marijuana is technically illegal in India, but the police often overlooks its use, especially on religious holidays. For Hindus, ganja is a ritual product. It is also deeply rooted in the local culture.
What is ganja for Bauls? Is it a way for having fun, or does it have some spiritual meaning, some ritual meaning?
No, that somebody like himself, he like to smoke. But ganja is
To relax.
relax. Ganja is also medicine.
It's called Baul medicine.
You can just little 2-3 times you can day, a little bit up morning one, after lunch one, after evening, and before you go to bed. A little bit you smoke, good your body. This is, but somebody every hours. This is not good.
Yeah.
And
There's some lovely songs about ganja. It says, Paban doesn't know because he's not really a ganja smoker.
I'm not really.
But there's a song which says, Ganja noka pahar baiya jai. That the boat of ganja can sail over mountains. So it's that freedom, you know.
You can little
But
good for
sadhus
you.
don't, like our guru never smoked ganja because he used to grow the ganja in his ashram. But he would tell everybody that once you have my knowledge, you won't need that ganja anymore. Once you're doing yoga and you become a real yogi, because you can control all your passages inside your body, all your body clocks. Like in the village, you don't have beer, you don't have alcohol. That is the way to relax.
And yet, the main reason to gather here is different. They talk and sing at the festival not about weed, but about love. And even when you ask their participants of the Mela about practical things, for example, how was the Akram Maner Manush created, you hear the word love in response. Maner Manush was created by the energy of the heart. One day we decided the ashram will be created in 20 days. No one knew how it was to be made, but the intention was there and it was made. And because we created it with our own hands, we knew to do it in harmony with a large community of people, we had to give people our love. Joydev Mela is a festival of union of people, a festival of love. Union cannot happen without love. That is our ideology. Twilight passes quickly and the long night begins. In the center of this stage, you can see the key figures of Akram Maner Manush, its creators and one of the most striking couples in the world of Bauls, Paban Das Baul and his partner Maki Kazumi. I met them next morning. Apart from love, freedom and equality are key for the Bauls. Freedom from national, caste or gender prejudices. One of the creators of Maner Manush, the Baul woman, Maki has spent half of her life in her native Japan, until Paban Das Baul came there on a tour.
Do you remember your feelings after your first Joydev Kenduli Mela? How was it?
Yes, like dream. I thought that I came back for 400 years ago.
Invited her when we did our festivals here in Boral. There was a big controversy in the press in Calcutta saying, why is she calling herself a Baul? She's Japanese, she can't be a Baul. Whereas the Baul tradition is not like that, it's very flexible. It gives you a core with which you can travel anywhere, and it's about your own spiritual autonomy. Opposite of what the religious fascists are saying today. They're saying everybody has to be the same. Whereas the Bauls are saying each person is unique and you have to find your truth inside you.
And yes, the attentive viewer may have noticed the sign at the entrance to the Maner Manush ashram says Maner Manush, a community of Bauls and Fakirs. Fakirs are not snake charmers in this case, but the same Bauls, but Muslims, the Islamic part of the Baul subculture, which is based mainly in Bangladesh.
Пожалуй, самый известный факир – это Лалан Шах.
Perhaps the most famous among Fakirs is Lalan Shah, one of the central characters of Baul history and mythology. He lived in the 19th century and came from a Hindu family. As a young man, during a pilgrimage to Jagannath, he fell ill with a severe form of smallpox and died. Or rather, so his companions decided, and put his breathless body on a raft and let it float down the river. At one of the villages downstream, the raft ran aground. The village turned out to be Muslim. The villagers found the young man lying faint on the raft, took him out, brought him back to life and left him to live with them. Soon, however, he left the village and took a piece of land in the forest. He composed poems, sang songs, received guests and gathered a circle of like-minded people, outcasts of different kinds. Lalan Fakir sang the ideas of equality, national, class, religious. For 19th century India, this was almost extremism. In that era, the caste division of society was not an outmoded tradition, as it is now, but a universal absolute law. To touch a Muslim, even to enter the same room with him, many Hindus considered it an indelible dishonor. But after all, an infant entering the world is wearing neither malar nor tasbih, Lalan was saying meanwhile. Had I held my caste in my hand, I would have thrown it away. The mala is a Hindu rosary, the tasbih is a Muslim rosary. However, when I became a disciple of Dindayal Das Baul, it was the mala that I started to wear. Guruji bought it in the market during one of our walks and put it around my neck. I began to receive a purely Hindu education. Now, it is once again a time to say bye to Joydev Kenduli for a while and to go to Kalyani. We have talked about the Baul principle of a new place every 3 days a couple of times already. However, there are different kinds of Bauls. There are ascetics who to this day strictly follow this principle. Others acquire a house and a family. Dindayal Das Baul is one of the latter. Still, he also spends a lot of time on the road. On the first day of my stay at his place, I told him I was planning to travel around Bengal, and he offered to go with me. Still, we spent the first 3 days at his house in Kalyani. The Baul's principle of staying above religions is also apparently an ambiguous thing. Dindayal, for example, turned out to be 100% Hindu. 3 times a day we meditated. Baba taught me a few mantras and yoga asanas. He also introduced me to the surroundings. For example, the Ganga river flowing 10 kilometers from Goshpara. Also, he showed me the local shrines. There are many of them in Goshpara. In the evenings we still went to the same small temple, and on the fourth day we went to Mayapur.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
From Kalyani to Mayapur is less than 100 kilometers, not that far, but there is no direct route by public transport, so we had to make few changes. Suburban train, bus, river ferry across the Ganga. I've already said that the Bauls, in theory, are above all religions and don't even have their own temples. But they come mostly from Vaishnava families. That is, those where the god Vishnu and his incarnations, including Krishna, are revered. And the Bauls often begin and end their performances with the resounding Hare Krishna or Hare Bol. That is why Mayapur is not an empty sound for them. The headquarters of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, also known as ISKCON, is located here. It is one of the main places for Vaishnavas and Krishnaites all over the world. In the main temple, this one with the blue dome, it is forbidden to film. So I content myself with filming in the canteen and in the garden around it. And that is where Baba and I have a conversation. There in the garden I asked Baba, do I understand correctly that the spirituality of the Bauls is neither Hindu nor Islamic, but its own, special one?
Baul culture come from Hinduism. Hinduism, only Bengal. Now Muslim they are take it from Lalan Fakir. Lalan Fakir before was Hindu. After he make a Muslim, he gives something song and knowledge, and after Muslim inside make a Fakir. Fakir and Baul not same. It's many far away.
And what are the differences?
Many difference, too much difference. But some people tell, yes, we are all is the same, all is the same, all is the same. It's not, it's a wrong way. Everybody can agree, but I cannot agree. Baul is the same, it is sky. Baul is the same ocean. Baul is a Muni Rishi Yogi. Baul is a Sadhu, Guru, Vaishnav. Baul is a idealist. Baul no exercise, yoga, pranayama, everything. But cannot every fakir, he don't know this way. He's a duplicate.
Understand.
They are all is a duplicate.
After these conversations, after the Mayapur crowds, just after a long day, the evening in Goshpara, I am frankly sad. However, the evening at Baba's house is unexpectedly most heartwarming. And most importantly, we finally get to talking about the thing that interests me most, music.
This name, Dubki, also this name is Konjuni. Many kind song, many kind rhythm, like that. And this is an old instrument. Tutara, Konjuni, Ektara, Nupur, and Gabu, this one. Now modern time coming, guitar coming, Casio coming, pad coming, many instruments. They are coming and join us with me. Join us. সে ব্যথায় মন হইল আকুল, আজ হয়ে গেছি নিরুপায়, অন্তিমে কি হবে? Like this would make this size after put the skin. This one is still. আশিকান্না রঙ্গ রসে কাটাইলাম জীবন, চক মারিয়ে দুনিয়াদারি ভুলাইয়া আমার মন। হারাইলাম সাধের যৌবন, হারাইলাম সাধের যৌবন, অবহেলায় ওই দিকে and strength are one can jil, one can shur, one can sargam, and one kind bomb. 4 kind, and another also 3 kind: shur, jil, and bomb. 3. This is dotara. 2 strings that make it 1 sound. You see? Dui tar. 2 dui tar. Tar string. 2 string name dui tar. Dui tar dotara. আশা নিয়ে দেখেছি স্বপ্ন, এই জীবন হবে মোর ফুলেরই মতন, অযত্নে হারায় অযত্নে হারায় আর দয়া কাঁদে নিয়া, অন্তিমে
Let's move again to the festival at Joydev Kenduli. Perhaps I should correct myself here. Mela is not just about partying and spiritual rituals, it is also a place to learn something. The name of this old sadhu is Ruti, but everyone in our camp called him Dadu, that is grandfather. He lived in the same tent with us and was really a kind of a grandfather to our generally quite youthful group. Dadu was almost 80, but his vigor and willingness to have fun was amazing. I asked Dadu what was the secret of his vigor. Without saying a word, he began a personalized yoga class for me. In addition to the usual personal yoga for one, they also have their own special physical practices in pairs.
And that is a very intimate and personal yoga which the gurus teach to married couples, you know, in a very conventional agricultural world. So a lot of the sophisticated fantasies about tantric sex and all that, I mean, that's not practiced, but the gurus whom we have seen, the Baul gurus, they are almost like shrinks, you know, like psychoanalysts for European society. They are there, they live in the society or by its side, and they give advice to a couple, and they talk very frankly about body, which is very rare in Indian situation, where the body is not discussed, you know.
Yes, a Baul is above religions, but praises Krishna and Shiva. Yes, a Baul does not live in one place for longer than 3 nights in a row, but can actually have a home and family. And here is another paradox. Actually, for traditional society, a Baul is an exile, an antagonist, a rebel, God's fool, blessed, vagabond. I guess very few normal Bengali parents would let their son, much less their daughter, wander the country with Bauls. But at the same time, the bearded Baul with an nectar in his hand is one of the symbols of West Bengal. Bauls are revered, Bauls are appreciated, and the poet Rabindranath Tagore, Nobel laureate and author of India's current anthem, was friends with Bauls. For several centuries of its existence, the Baul culture has not died, faded or disappeared, as evidenced by all these festivals and millions of views of Baul videos on YouTube. The culture is alive, and yet it has changed a lot. This is the Boral Baul festival in Kolkata, held since the late 80s, founded by Mimlu Sen and Paban Das Baul. Paban himself is on stage. It was there that I appreciated his stage charisma, which led Paban from his native slums to world tours and recordings in London studios. The musician came from the poorest of the poor. He learned to read and write in his late 20s, at the same time as the young children of Mimlu. In his childhood, while a student from a wealthy family Sen traveled by bus in Europe, the child Paban with his comrades herded cattle in his native village. But Paban had a talent. He instantly grasped and memorized any song, had a bright, clear voice, an impeccable sense of rhythm, and a phenomenal memory. Soon the child, in the company of his brother and older Bauls, set out to wander the state. Wherever he sang, coins rained into the brothers' bags from the very first song. In 10 years, this road took young Paban first to the halls of Kolkata and then to the halls of Europe. During the interview, I asked Paban, is the culture of Bauls changing nowadays? What was it like in his youth and what has it become now?
Situation is very changed. Old Baul people go to Bhikka, Madhukori, collect money to village. These people are, today is today.
Tomorrow is another day.
Tomorrow another day. Not think, tomorrow I am, what is this eat. Baul go to village to collect, Baul go to 7 house. This is called 7 musti. Musti means this musti. Rice I need.
For the day.
For the day, this is enough. And some vegetable. Today is, people are thinking next day, maybe few more days.
Actually, some younger people are coming as a pseudo Baul. Yeah, they're keeping their beards. They're wearing, they're having their long hairs. They're wearing the dresses like the Bauls. They're singing the Baul songs, but they are actually the performer. They are not the Baul actually. Okay, they're the performer. They're the singers, but they're not Baul. But Baul is practice, is a culture. You have to inculcate yourself through this journey.
Bauls of today are not writing songs. I think Bauls of that time understood what was happening to them, because a lot of the songs which are being sung today were written at the end of the 19th century, early 20th century. Okay? The thing is that in those days there was a lot of cultural crossovers. So a lot of Western ideas had come into Bengal, and there were also a lot of the village ideas which were rising and coming to the city. At that time it was very rich. I think what's happened now is that there's so much overpopulation and there's so much thrown, even these young Bauls, they don't have that clear link which Paban and his generation had to their gurus. You know, they could go when they were running out of inspiration or songs, They could go to Bhava Pagla's ashram, they could go to Hari Goshai's ashram, and they would be welcomed in, and they would stay for 3 weeks, 3 months to learn from the Guru. Now there's no place the young Bauls can go to. Where can they go?
That day, under Dadu's guidance, I try yoga for the first time in my life and feel how weak and stiff my body is. My back starts to buzz, followed by my neck. Above my neck, inside my skull, it's a mess too. I've been haunted by shame, fear, addictions, anxieties for a long time. But with them comes the desire to heal myself. So when I talked to the Bauls, I asked questions with an interest that was not so much journalistic as personal.
What do Bauls do if when they feel themselves sad, or they feel envy or jealous or some other inner demons? Inner demons. What do Bauls do when feeling this?
Good. Very good.
There is a song about it.
মানুষ হব বলেছিল আশা রে মানুষ হব বলেছিল আশা.
Each of us has his own character. The Bauls, yogis and gurus of past generations have given us the philosophy that there are 6 sins, 6 demons. They are lust, greed, envy, anger, pride and intoxication. The inner demons will always be there. They are trying to get the upper hand over us. It is useless to fight them. You have to make friends with them. First of all, realize them. The philosophy of the Bauls and their practices are aimed at realizing what is going on inside you. This realization will not come in one day. You take care of your inner demons, make them your friends, begin to understand what they want, and in time you will stop falling into their traps.
তাই মনকে বাঁধো মনকে ছাঁদো মনকে দিও না লাই আগে মন মানুষকে রাজি করা ভাই.
On my return from Mayapur, where the main headquarters of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness is located, I honestly confessed to Baba that I did not like it. It was too crowded and too noisy. And then Dindayal promised to show me his friend's ashram in the northern part of West Bengal. The next evening, Baba and I packed our bags and went to the highway. There we wait for a bus and drive all night north to a town called Raiganj. It's about 400 kilometers from Kalyani. Early in the morning, in a quiet and empty town, we are picked up in a jeep by an assistant of the ashram owner and another 20 kilometers through fields and villages. The village are quite poor, as evidenced by the shacks made of corrugated metal sheets for roofing. And here we are in Chotipukur. That's the name of the ashram. All around is the expanse of Bengal. No mountains, no hills, just fields of rice and green groves. In the center of the complex there is a huge banyan tree, as if it were a beacon on the ashram's island, lost in the green sea of fields. Under the banyan is a small temple of the goddess Kali and a tin house, like in the villages. Having the invariable chillums and chai, I get to know the residents and guests of the ashram. Debashish, owner of the ashram and a businessman. Doemoy, young Tantra Baba originally from Bangladesh. Dindayal's fellow sadhus, disciples and friends. Finally, Epshita, a city girl who has come from Kolkata for a weekend getaway. After resting from the road, we get into the daily routine of the ashram. Together with the whole company, we go to the town, to the market to buy food, and in the evening we walk around the neighborhood.
So much energy and not pollution.
Yes.
I like so much because a peaceful place coming. City side is concrete. It's concrete, no coming immersion, no coming spiritual immersion. Only time noise, coming and make a confuse. Because I go far away, like that 500 kilometers we come was now. If we make like that place, if we buy some land and make a one yoga ashram and Baul Institute or Sanatan Gurukul Patshala, may be good for humanity. I think so that, but I don't know if God bless me. Maybe one day make, or God no want, don't make.
At evening gatherings, I look at the guests of the ashram. Besides Ipshita, there is a guide named Gili. I met him at the Kenduli festival, and a woman named Ashoka. People like them, young and not so young, educated, urban, reaching for spirituality, often are friends with Bauls and Sadhus, have gurus, go to ashrams and Baul festivals on weekends. Sort of a very colorful subculture. In its ranks, I have met a chemical scientist, artists, students, entrepreneurs. However, girls in companies like today's, where there are chillums and songs, are quite rare. I asked Ipshita, why is it so? Is it considered indecent?
In our Bengal, there is a culture, we respect women, motherhood, we respect motherhood, right? So we are trying to keep them with us, but not always, because there's lots of people who are not exactly mixing properly with the woman or behave with the women properly. If you handle yourself, if you can handle yourself, definitely you can go. But if you can't, there's lots of problem must become or will come down. So no need to do that. I'm a network developer, but I'm doing my business in my own way actually. Whenever needed, I'll go and I'll work properly, and again I'll come down. Any ashrams are there, and lots of ashrams in my place also. There's lots of ashrams in a Purulia, in a Krishna, in a Bhimpur. There's lots of ashrams are there. I'm attached with them. We are busy in our life. From that business, busy schedule, if we can take a free air from the environment, then we can feel refresh, feeling better. From there, we recharge ourselves. We take our food from there, which is living food, and we are coming again to our busy life.
সেই বাড়িতে চোর ঢুকেছে ছয় জনা তার সিঁড়ি কাটিছে ছয় জনা তার সিঁড়ি কাটিছে চুরি করে একজন।
Thanks to Baba, I know something of the basics of Baul philosophy. These six are human things, namely lust, anger, greed, envy, luxury, and intoxication. All six will dig, but only one will steal. Six will also pull the ropes, but only one will master the rudder. Third morning in Chotepukur. In the afternoon we planned to leave the ashram and go further, but the day before Baba had warned me that something important is waiting for me before we left. And I guessed apparently it was the rite of Diksha, transfer of mantra, initiation into spiritual disciples, the beginning of the first stage of sadhana. And my guess is correct. This footage shows only the preparations for the ritual. The ritual itself was not filmed, and to be honest, I remember its details vaguely, just bits and pieces. Here are the sadhus around us, rattling percussion and singing. Baba is sitting opposite me in a half lotus. He says something in Bengali, looking into my eyes. A small round mirror appears in his hand facing me. Baba raises it to the level of his face, and instead of the grey mustache and brown eyes of a baul, I see my reflection. Then Baba and I lean toward each other, and in each of my ears he whispers a few words. Now this is my mantra, passed down from the Guru. I am initiated. Dindayal explains to me that everyone around me is now my new family. Debashish, Doyamoy, Gili, each one of them is now my spiritual brother, Guru Bhai. Ashoka is my spiritual sister, Guru Bhon. Meanwhile, it's time for us to pack. Baba and I are going to Shantiniketan. A jeep will take us to the railroad station. My new family intends to see us off. Suddenly, someone has a spontaneous idea. Why don't we first go to Baglahagi, near Malda, to the village, to visit Dinabondu Baba for a few hours? It's only 70 kilometers detour. Baba calls his singer friend Dinabondu, he confirms, please come, and the whole Shotipukur gang rushes along the border of West and East Bengal. The March sun is shining, everyone is having fun. According to one of the versions, the word Baul comes from Bayu, which means air in Bengali.
You are here for around 2 weeks. How do you feel after that 2 weeks? What are your emotions or feelings?
If there were if one feeling could express two things, I could say I feel numb. I feel so ecstatic that it makes me reach this place which is now. It's not the right answer though. English is like a very narrow language. Jai Guru, Jai Guru, Jai Guru. So, yeah. So in these 2 weeks, all I can say that the faith in myself and humanity, which I always had faith in, I just got convinced again and again and again and again and again that it exists as a community.
This is how my Joydev Kenduli Mela finished. This story is coming to an end as well. The village of Boglahagi is a poor place, but the house of Dinabondu, Baba's disciple and friend, is built not from tin but from the bricks. We stop here on our way to Malda station, so that after having lunch we can go on with Baba to Shantiniketan, as planned. But after lunch I am taken away by Dinabondu's son Ram Prasad for a walk in the surrounding countryside. When we return, we find that the Shotepukur company has left, so we stay in the village for the night. The most interesting and tense episode of that evening could not be filmed. Almost at night, a local policeman comes to Dinabondu's house, and he comes after me. During an afternoon walk with Ramprasad, I was seen by the locals, and the rumor of a foreigner walking around the neighborhood spread throughout the village. Against the background of the alarming news about COVID, which Indian TV channels broadcast day and night, the news of my appearance is not joyful for the villagers, but frightening. I have a stressful conversation with the cop, and at the end of it, Baba and I are told to leave as early as possible the following morning. In the the morning we quickly pack up and go to the train station by rickshaw. There we board the train and spend half a day going south to the last point of our journey, to the legendary Shantiniketan, one of the main places on the Baul map of Bengal. A small university town created by Rabindranath Tagore in the early 12th century. On the train I asked Dindayal about Tagore and his friendship with the Bauls.
Rabi Thakur, first time he listened when he left the Bangladesh, Shlaidah. There, one Podda river, one Madhumati river, middle point, one island, Shlaidah. There have Rabindranath Thakur's home. This Madhumati's others banker live in Lalan Fakir, but cannot meet them. They don't get time and no meet. But listen, when divide the Bengal and when Rabindranath come back here and where going, where I make my peacefully home. After she coming was Shantiniketan. Shanti means peacefully. And Niketan is a house, peacefully house. Is Shantiniketan. Because when Rabindranath coming was here, he find the peace. No so much people, no so much village. Only forest and quiet.
We hardly have time for Shantiniketan. The day after tomorrow I have a plan from Kolkata, live in Bengal. We have the last 24 hours at our disposal. We can barely find a hotel and we found it in the suburbs, because I'm a foreigner and because there is COVID. There I ask Baba for an interview. We sit in a field and I ask Dindayal about everything. And in the evening we go to visit a friend of Dindayal's, a singer named Baban Das Baul.
Tell me please about your family, where you come from, about your parents.
My family 75 years ago come from Bangladesh. My father and grandfather, they are singing song. Every time I see was many kind sadhu and singer man coming was my house. And they are singing and make asana also and sing, talking about the religion.
You said the parents were singers. They were Baul singers, or
not. This time not Baul singer. It's a Swarkari, Kobi gan. It's another kind also culture. My old culture. Kobi gan. After baby time, when my 15 years old, this time my dad is died. My dad and my mother is gone. I was four sisters, one elder sister and 3 little. I travel everywhere I travel and do something work. Where get this work I can do. Physical work, yes. I work some cloth, handloom. I do something and design make. One time I make a design master. And this time inside I going many places in all over India, many holy place and many pilgrim and Mela, Sadhu Sangha. And I take my Diksha Guru, Shikha Guru, Udasin Guru, Baul Guru, Tattva Guru, and my Adhyatik Guru, Kerala, Amritananda Muhima. And when I make a bowl, I don't know. I think I know make bowl only bow, little bit. I'm not so big, but everybody can tell me. And all West Bengal people and all bowl, they are known to me. And after I writing song and make a lyric, God bless me because me no possible.
By the way, did you make CDs with your music, LPs, cassettes?
No possible.
Because I've seen many videos in internet with your songs.
Yes, you can find.
Many people see it, many people, many views in YouTube.
Yes.
CDs, no, yes?
No. When I make, who make my CD? I am all time running to work and make a program and going my disciple place, many ashrama, many place. And I am work every time. All year I going to going. And I am not leaving house. Little time I leave house and most of time I travel. Most of time, like 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, travel and come back house. Little time wait and see what to need them. Give some money, give some everything. Give. After I go.